Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Behind the Screen. So today we're going to be talking about the Resilient Jenkins TikTok channel, specifically about some recent videos that Stephanie has put out, things that people are a little bit concerned about. I haven't talked about Resilient Jenkins on here simply because so many other creators have pretty in-depth videos about her and her boyfriend and their living situation and everything that kind of goes with Resilient Jenkins, what they're known for, which is basically living in a very small one-bedroom apartment with now 7 people in the family because they just had a baby. We're going to kind of get into their background a little bit. I'll put in different videos so you guys can kind of get a sense of who this family or who Stephanie and her boyfriend Drew are. But I'm not going to go down some big rabbit hole and do a whole entire deep dive on Stephanie and Drew. But if you guys want that, I will definitely do that. Just let me know. But for this video, we're just going to kind of do a little update on them with what a lot of people are talking about right now and the current path that Stephanie is going, I think, to sort of stay relevant on TikTok. But at the same time, there are a lot of people who think that there's a lot of very concerning things going on, and they have been going on for a while. So let's just get right into the video. Okay, so this is the video that people are really talking quite a bit about. It was posted 5 days ago and it has almost 1 million views, which is quite a bit because her videos don't typically get that many views unless if something crazy is going on. People are really talking about it. So let's watch it. And then she commented, she responded to it. Okay, so it says, making the breakfast I know he'll eat. If I don't, he won't eat, and it'll somehow be mine or the kid's fault. And so she's referring to her boyfriend, Andrew, who is the father of not all of her kids, of the baby, and I'm not sure if another one or not, but they have some kids are hers, some are his. They call themselves a blended family, and now they have this baby that's both of theirs biologically. So you can see in the video, she's crying, looks pretty upset. And then she says also F postpartum hormones. And you can see she just basically looks miserable making, I don't know, sausage patties or something for her boyfriend. Let's see if there's anything else going on in the video because I haven't actually watched it from start to finish. Yeah, it's just her making breakfast. Okay, so then if you go over to her caption, it says, it doesn't matter what I post, y'all have your opinions regardless of if it's fact or not. I try to be authentic and real. Relationships take work and commitment. Drew could give an F if y'all talk crap about him. We're both used to unsolicited opinions at this point. So say what you want, but I'm posting this for the mamas at home who do the most every day and feel like it's not ever enough. And then she hashtags solo parenting. We know how I feel about that. Postpartum, hormones, and mom of 5. So yeah, I think that was the big thing right there. And she did do a comment, which we will read in a minute. But yeah, her putting that out there, was it rage bait? Is it true? That's kind of what the talk is about. But she responded in a comment. She responded in a video too, but she said, so I was really trying something strategic with this post. I will make a follow-up post tomorrow, but please understand that the caption was merely a rage bait to show how easily people judge. Why would you want to put that out there about your boyfriend, who people already are very judgmental about, rightfully so, which we will get into why if you don't know here pretty soon. People in the comments were, trying to help her, I would say, because they were concerned. Stephanie will kind of come back with a video you'll see being very defensive. Whenever you post something like this, it really does seem like a cry for help. This person said, you and the kids deserve better. Let him starve. Grown ass, useless little gamer boy. The reason that she says that is because her boyfriend Drew doesn't want to get a real job because he doesn't want to have to pay taxes, which would mean he'd have to pay child support for other kids that he simply abandoned. Yeah, and he doesn't pay the child support too. And so he'll do like a little bit of Uber Eats sometime, that kind of thing, but he doesn't actually work. And so therefore they have to live in poverty and live in this tiny 1-bedroom apartment as a family of 7. We'll get into all that. The kids literally did not have beds. They just laid on, I think, air mattresses on the floor next to litter boxes, and just it was a total mess, total chaos. Eventually people sent them bunk beds. People in the comments sent them bunk beds, and the kids now have bunk beds. But either way, Drew, the boyfriend's name, him and Stephanie have the bedroom all to themselves. The baby might be in there now at this point, but they just had this baby. And in this bedroom, they have, and they had it before all their TikTok stuff, a really nice bed He has this whole gaming system set up with a PlayStation 5. He has all of the special lights, whereas the rest of the house is in complete shambles. The kids don't have proper things that kids should have. So that's what this person meant with that comment. This person says, making the breakfast, I know he'll eat because if I don't, he won't eat and it'll somehow be mine or the kid's fault. That in and itself should be a real wake-up call. How narcissistic, ungrateful. This person says, what does he do though? This person said, knocked her up in between COD games. Literally nothing, not even work, nothing but play on the stupid game. He's literally another kid to take care of. He'd give me the biggest ick if he was my man. I don't know how she does it. Yeah, can you imagine being with someone who refuses to get a job for the reasons that he refuses to? He doesn't want to work, and then he probably sleeps in all day and then just plays video games, and it's pretty clear. I mean, we'll get into all this in a moment, but I do think in a lot of ways that she is struggling, and this probably is a bit of a cry for help, even if she's not going to admit that. Like, she is struggling. You can just tell in videos how beaten down that she looks. So this is Stephanie's response to all of the hate that she was getting, that if she purposely put this out there, I don't know what the heck she was expecting. If it wasn't true, why put it out there and then get mad if people are concerned about you? Real quick, we'll read the caption. It says, all I have to say is please evaluate why you follow us. We're here to build a community of peaceful support and kindness. I appreciate those of you who reached out with genuine concern, but this is a happy blended family over here. As far as why I'm crying, I literally just had a baby and these postpartum hormones are no joke. Okay, yeah, postpartum hormones, sure, no joke. But to go and make a video, put the camera on of yourself crying and then put that sort of cryptic caption, of course people are going to be concerned. You should be happy that people are concerned for your well-being. So here she's making the response video responding to her comment, saying that it was a strategic move. So let's watch that.
Myself, because these talking videos I'm just not quite comfortable with quite yet. But this post was a strategic post on my part. Recently, I've been having a lot of couples pop up in my algorithm that have these like quote-unquote couple issues going on, and I can tell it's like staged on their part, and I don't mean to be judgmental, but what I noticed was within their algorithm, their views spiked tremendously, and they get a lot more followers than that, and I feel like it was because the general population of those new followers are people that are like, okay, I want to watch this couple fall apart. And it just had my gut off. I was like, is that really how people think? And I started wondering, like, how many people are following me and Drew for that very reason? Because for the past 3 years, all I've put forward and all I've said about my man is that he's an amazing father. He's a very supportive partner. And I've spoke nothing different. But the one post that I put up saying anything that would contradict that, putting a bad rep on my man, blows up like that. I mean, this is the most views I've had on a video in a while. Definitely the most likes I've had. And then I got all these people in my comments.
Not something to brag about, putting out that your man, essentially you're afraid of him and so you have to make him a separate meal, and either way it's not going to be right. Not something to brag about that you got more likes on that. But
in the comments like, oh, I knew this all along. What did you know? Because I haven't said anything about my man negatively up until this post, which I just mentioned was a strategic move on my part. Now I know the first thought is to be like, oh, so she did a rage bait. No, actually what I did this for was to see how many people are following us waiting for our downfall.
well, she did say it was for rage bait. In the other comment, she did post that it was a rage bait post.
To find out, oh, Drew's just that bum piece of crap that everybody keeps saying he is. That's not the case. That's not what we're going to put forward. We are who we put forward. That's just how it is. I just want to say, if you're following us for that reason, to watch us fall apart, please stop following us. We're trying to build a genuine community of support here.
So that's basically it. But what my response would be is don't put out content like that if you don't want people to get upset about it. What would you, she knew what she was going to get putting out that rage. I just did a video on rage bait. That's exactly what she was doing. Though I will say, I feel like people were concerned for a reason. I mean, if you follow anything about Resilient Jenkins, it's pretty clear that he is a total piece of crap. Not saying that he's abusive or anything like that, but it wasn't far-fetched. That video didn't seem super far-fetched to me. Just the little bit I do know about them. Everyone, I feel like, felt the same way, but let's read the comments over here. So the abusive relationship is having her flip the story. He is a bum, no job, too many kids, he doesn't care for, letting his family struggle. Bum. Yeah. This person, which I saw this earlier whenever I whenever I was looking up this stuff. And this person, I feel like this is something. I feel like this is definitely something. This person says, I used to backpedal too when I fought with my toxic boyfriend and I vented too much and I got a dose of reality for my friends and family. That's kind of what I feel like could have happened. This person making jokes about DV is crazy, delusional crazy, agreed, completely agree. Seriously, having a video of yourself crying and then saying something like that and then saying it was a joke, absolutely crazy. But that's what TikTok is. It's the most unhinged people that just put out whatever they feel like. It's beyond me, truly beyond me. Literally, you put up something that you need support because of a terrible partner for views. How gross. Girl, leave him. You're standing and slaving while you just gave birth. You deserve rest and service. This person, I will never understand. Growing up in a poor house, my parents had nothing, so me, my brother had something, so I will never understand. That's just it. It really goes back to the fact that no one even know who they are, but they're putting it out there. They're putting out that they're a family of 7 in this tiny apartment, tiny, messy apartment. Kids sleeping on the floor while the parents sleep in the nice bedroom, nice size bedroom, the nice bed, the brand new PlayStation 5 system in there. This person, do you like to read your kids' bedtime stories or books in general? If you do, you should totally read them. The Little Boy Who Cried Wolf. I think you all will learn some things from it. Great book. So yeah, and real quick, we'll just kind of give you a little bit of a backstory of the Resilient Jenkins. And then we'll talk a little bit more about what we were talking about. But in case if you don't know, here's their TikTok, 208,000 followers, 2.7 million likes.
You can read in the caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more means for privacy and extra space. When outside our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. And only the instant judgment me and my husband receive, why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? See, my perception is judgment comes from a place of not having the experience. When you've experienced enough, you generally don't judge people. I can tell you after everything I've been through in the past 3 years, there's very little I have to judge people. I would be lying if I said there wasn't a point in my life that I was so naive that I might have judged a poor person based off their appearance.
She's putting this out there and then she's getting mad that people are saying things about it. But at the same time, when it's just her, and I'm sure that's what it is, it's just her doing everything and it's a bunch of little kids and her boyfriend is just a deadbeat. Of course it's going to look like this. She has zero support, zero help. But the thing is, it's like whenever people are trying to be supportive, she gets defensive over her boyfriend, which to me, it definitely sends up some red flags.
I've learned a lot. I generally look like I'm roughing it, but that's because our kids come first. I do everything I can to keep our environment clean and tidy. When it comes down to it, I could
Also, the kids do not come first because if they came first, they would not have that PlayStation system. They would have already had some sort of proper bed put in place for their kids, and they would have given their kids the bedroom, not in the open common space where the pets are all out. I think they have cats with like litter boxes, I believe, all those things. They would have given them the little bit of normalcy that they have in that apartment, which is the bedroom. Not to mention, these kids are not all biologically related. And so I don't know when their timeline started of them getting together, but it's like these kids just had to all of a sudden live in one tiny room together, even though they didn't know each other. It's sad. So the Resilient Jenkins are actually getting evicted. I believe the court hearing is in a week or so. It's coming up, I think, next week actually. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. And the reason they're getting evicted, it's because it's too many people living in that small of a space. It's legally not allowed. And that could be a reason that she put out that controversial TikTok because she knows that she needs the money. Clearly, Drew's not going to work or step up to the plate. So what's she do? Makes that TikTok. Can't imagine she makes much from it, but it's probably something. Not to mention, the more views she gets, the more sponsors she's going to get. I do actually feel bad for Stephanie. I see a woman who feels like she has no other options and has truly been beaten down in life. And I don't mean physically, nothing like that. I mean like just beaten down by life, you know? I mean, Stephanie has a husband who is in prison, so clearly her, radar for men isn't the best. And whether or not the stuff that she was alleging to in that rage bait TikTok, the strategic move TikTok that she made, the point is there is plenty of other things about Drew that just shows that he's a totally crappy person. Has other kids that he abandoned, that he doesn't pay the child support to, refuses to work because of that, plays around and plays video games all the time, has his newly postpartum girlfriend just doing all of the housework, all of the cooking, all the cleaning, all the child rearing while he plays PlayStation 5. The fact that he has a PlayStation 5 and they can't even afford basic needs, it's a lot. It shows that he's just a pathetic excuse for a man. He'd rather his character be defamed even further by her making that TikTok than just go out and get a job. Like, it just gross. But who I really feel the worst for, of course, is the kids, because they're basically living in total chaos and now they're gonna have to move soon, which hopefully it's to a bigger, better place. Stephanie likes to go and say that they're happy, they're fine, they, this, that, and the other, but all around it is a really sad situation. I mean, even besides everything, the actual chaos that they're living in daily. But if the stuff that she was alleging to in that TikTok is actually true, it just adds a whole other layer of the story and just makes it that much more sad for the kids that are involved. Stephanie, Drew, they're the perfect example of people who really are just pretty trashy human beings, and the only reason that they're getting any sort of money, any sort of fame, if you will, is for all the wrong reasons. It's for being crappy parents. It's for putting out the type of content that's rage bait, so she says, in order to get more views, whenever really all it's doing is just making their whole entire situation look that much worse. But what do you guys think? Do you think that there's any truth to what Stephanie was saying? Do you kind of feel bad for her? Like, I kind of feel bad for her. Even though she's putting this stuff out there, I do feel a little bit bad. Because in my opinion, I really do think he doesn't do anything, and so she has to step up and do the role of mom and dad, and she's postpartum. I just think it's kind of a case of somebody who just probably grew up not knowing her worth, and now it's showing with the men that she picks. And unfortunately, what that means is that her kids are going to have to deal with the consequences of all of that throughout their life. So it's just a really bad pattern. That's just like my take on it all. And I'm also curious to know what's going to happen this whole eviction thing. Are they going to actually have to move out? There's the whole court hearing. Are they going to get a nicer place? Hopefully a bigger place, at least for the kids' sake. And if this whole thing isn't enough for Drew to get a job, what will be? How embarrassing for him. But let me know, do you guys want a bigger deep dive on the Risley and Jenkins, or should we just kind of ignore them and hope that they just get off TikTok altogether and just get jobs? That's the thing. Whenever we're covering people like this, it's almost like, do we even want to give them the time of day? But at the same time, I do completely understand why people want to hear more about them. So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation, and thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you guys in my next video.